Hello. Okay, so an alpha is the part of an investment that is due to the skill of the fund manager. Okay, and this can be very hard to measure. Okay, so let's get into it. So what do you need to know about alpha? Okay, so some of the key things you need to know is that if you have an alpha that is positive, it indicates superior performance. If the alpha is greater than 1, means the investment outperformed expectations. If it is less than 1, means the investment underperformed. And then if it's 0, it means that the investment performed exactly as expected. Okay, so now that we've looked at the interpretation of alpha, let's look at how alpha is measured. Okay, so the alpha is measured using what we call a capital asset pricing model. Okay, so you may ask, what is a capital asset pricing model? Okay, so from the name asset pricing, okay, pricing and assets. Okay, so a model that is concerned with asset pricing. Okay, so with the capital asset pricing, the relationship it captures or models asset pricing, looking at the relationship between expected return and market risk. Okay, and some of the popular papers of CAPM. Okay, so that's the abbreviation for capital asset pricing model. Okay, include papers by Jensen, where he speaks about performance of mutual funds, and then Sharp, who wrote a paper on capital asset pricing. Okay, so there's an extension of this known as the consumption-based asset pricing model, but I wouldn't go into that here. I'm not even going to go into the capital asset pricing model, but I just want you to know what it is about. So it extends the capital asset pricing model by looking at consumption behavior. Okay, so there are popular papers, okay, like the Mehar and Prescott paper that looks at the equity premium puzzle. You have the Cambi, Canzoneri, and Diba. Yeah, CCD. Yeah, that looks at money market and Euler equations. And then there's another popular one by Abel. Yeah, that looks at asset pricing and habit formation and catching up with the Joneses. Okay, so that's for consumption-based asset pricing. Okay, so how do we get from the alpha from the capital asset pricing model? Okay, so if you read some of the popular papers that look at capital asset pricing, okay, they have a way they go about modeling it, which I wouldn't go into this. Okay, but then finally they arrive at a formula. Okay, and the formula is simply, so that's the formula: alpha is equal to I minus big brackets RF plus beta I RM minus RF small brackets closed, big bracket. Okay, so that's expected return. Okay, so your RI is your actual return on investment. RF is your risk-free rate. Okay, RM is your market return, and then beta I is the sensitivity of investments to market movements. Okay, so this is the formula for the alpha. What am I going to say here? Later on, I will go through capital asset pricing and then consumption based asset pricing in detail. Okay, but then this is just to give you an overview of what an alpha is. Okay, so an alpha is simply the part of an investment return, okay, that is attributed to the skill of a fund manager, okay, rather than market movements or some sort of systematic risk. Okay, so in the part of an investment return attributed to the skill of the manager, okay, of the fund manager. Okay, that's it. Yeah, so there are some challenges in measuring the alpha. Yeah, so let's look at this formula, okay, and let's think about what it tells us. Okay, so we say alpha is equal to your actual return minus your expected return. So think of a scenario where your actual return is, say, 12, right, and then your expected return is, say, 8. Okay, so it means your alpha will be 4, right? So what does this mean? It means that 4, okay, is as a result of the skill of the investment manager, okay, because you were expecting 8, but then you ended up getting 12. Okay, so it captures the skill of the investment manager. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, so an example here would be, if let's say, this is just a simple example, the actual return on your investment is, say, 12, okay, and then what you expected was 8. Okay, so your difference here is 4. So this is your alpha. Okay, that's your alpha. Okay, so let's talk about some challenges of measuring alpha. Okay, so the challenges I'm going to discuss here are the first one I'll talk about is fees. Okay, so what do I mean by fees? Okay, so if you have high management fees, okay, fees and costs, if you have high management fees, okay, it can erode your alpha. It can erode the alpha in the sense that you wouldn't fully capture the part of the investment that was due to the manager's skill. Okay, it's going to